You will give explanations. That what is the real meaning? And the real meaning is always obvious. There is no need to give any explanation. All explanations are to explain away. To bring something which was not there. Gurus, disciples, awakened ones and ignorant ones. And this is a great play, a cosmic play. Ignorant ones need awakened ones. Awakened ones cannot play solo alone. They need ignorant ones. But the master noticed that this is a play and is not serious about it. Third question. You said last night that a change in the outer or inner and physical or mental aspects can bring a change in consciousness. That means changes on the periphery also affect the consciousness, the center. But then why do you emphasize changing the center instead of changing the outer, the periphery? This is the trouble. That you go on catching the words and missing the meaning. The periphery also belongs to you. It is part of the center. The periphery is part of the center. The outer part of the center. But the periphery is much different from the center. Can you create a periphery without the center? Or can you create a center without the periphery? They are not separate. They are one. The periphery is the center looked from without. If you change your periphery, the center will also be affected. For two reasons, that the periphery is part of the center, and for second reason, who will change the periphery? The center. Who will change the periphery? The center will change the periphery. But my emphasis to start the work from the center is still there. Because if you start changing the periphery, it will take longer time to reach to the center. That which can be done in a single moment may take many lives. Because you have to travel from the periphery to the center, backwards. From the superficial to the depth. If you start work from the center, then the periphery automatically changes. When the center is different, the periphery will follow it. Because the periphery cannot go away from you. For example, I will not say to you that try to be non-violent on the periphery. It is unnecessary, wastage of time and effort. Be non-violent at the heart. Be compassionate, loving at the heart. The periphery will follow. You can forget it completely. Because whatsoever happens on the periphery comes from the center. So if on the center you are compassion, the periphery will follow. And this compassion will be totally different. Because the periphery will not know that this is compassion. The periphery will not feel elated that this is compassion. The periphery will be blissfully unaware. The compassion will follow you like a shadow. And this is the easiest course. What I mean is this. If you want to change a tree, change the roots. Of course, the leaves of the tree are also the tree. And you can try to change the leaves also. And if you change the leaves, the roots will be affected, but this is going to be a very long process. Because the flow is from the roots to the leaves. The flow is not from the leaves to the root. You are following a reverse direction than nature. If you go on changing the leaves, in many, many lives, you may affect the pattern of the roots. But this is going to be unnecessarily long. You can do it immediately if you change the pattern in the roots. The leaves will change and will become different. So when I emphasize the center, I don't mean that the periphery is separate from the center. And when I emphasize the center, I don't mean that you cannot affect the center from the periphery. You can. But this is the longest route possible. If you choose to travel long, it is up to you. Nothing is wrong in it. If you enjoy the journey, then the long route is good. If you just want to see the side views, then the long route is good. Otherwise, start from the center. And this is like this. We are sitting here. You are listening to me. So a center is created in this room. You become the periphery, I become the center. A group soul exists. You are centered toward me. If someone wants to affect this room and this group soul, it is better to start from me than from you. Because if I change my mind, effects will be coming sooner. But if someone starts with you, then it is going to be a very long effort. Because you are men, one thing. And first he changes you one by one. And then he will try to change me through you. This is going to be very long. And it may not succeed ever. The other is easier. If he changes me, and if you are attached to me as a center, immediately effects will be there. In your body, in your being, the same phenomenon is happening. There is a center, and there is the periphery of your life. Direct hit at the center, and the periphery will follow. It has to follow. There is no other go. Changing the periphery is a piecemeal affair. And you change one fragment, and 99 other fragments remain the old. When you move to the other fragment, those 99 will change this one, which you were trying to change. They will make it again the old. The whole pattern will be against it. I can change your one habit. Much effort will be needed. But your whole pattern, because your center goes on giving you all old habits, only one habit I change, and there are 1,000 habits. This change habit is just from the surface, forced. The moment you become unaware, all other habits and the pattern will change it again into the old. So much effort is wasted working on the periphery. I have seen people who have been working their whole life for ordinary things. Someone is trying to stop smoking the whole life. And this has been the whole aim, the only aim, and they have not achieved it. I tell to such people that even if you achieve it, what is achieved? The whole life is lost just to stop smoking. This is not work. And when you reach to the divine source, to God, you can only say that I have stopped smoking. So this won't look worth telling. And the whole life, and even that is not achieved. This is piecemeal work. And the problem is not smoking. You are fighting against the current by changing a small wave. And the whole river goes on, and you change one wave, and the whole river will change the wave again into itself. Because the pattern, the built-in pattern goes on being fled from the center to the periphery. It is a built-in program. Whatsoever is happening on the periphery has happened already in the center. That's why it is happening there. Periphery comes to know about things which have been happening very deeply. Move to the cause. And don't be too much concerned with the effect. This is scientific. Change the center. Don't try to stop smoking. Don't try to stop this and that. Follow the deepest pattern. Why smoking is there. Why this obsession to sex is there. Why this obsession to money is there. Why you are a miser. Why you go and cling with dead money. You can donate it. It will not make any difference. Donation will not help. You will again gather. And donation itself will be an investment for the future. It will be part of your bank balance. You cannot donate just in play, can you? You can donate very seriously. When it is said that donation will lead you to heaven, then you can donate. To me, a donator who is giving his money for some future end in paradise is more clinging to the money than a person who can throw all his fortune in a game of cards. He is less greedy. He can play with it. And his achievement is deeper. He may look immoral, because morality is created by the donators. They will see you are wasting money. They never waste money. They always invest. And this man is mad, immoral, wasting money. But this man is less greedy. And this man can move deeper, easily, than this greedy man who is donating for some paradise or something. You can change outer things, but even the change will have deep down the same pattern. The pattern has to be uprooted and transformed. That's why I emphasize, start from the center. But don't think that I mean that if you cannot start from the center, then don't start from the periphery. That is not what I mean. If you can't start from the center, please start from the periphery. Something is better. It will take much time, or you may not ever be able. But still the very effort will be good. I am reminded of one incident. In one waiting room of an airport, one young woman was crying steadily. Everyone was aware around, but no one knew what to do. Then one fellow took courage. He came near the woman, tried to console her, said some soothing things, put his arm around her, and asked, "What can I do? Is there anything that I can do to help you to stop crying?" But she was not listening. She continued crying, so he squeezed her a little more tightly. And then again asked, "Is there anything that I can do to stop you crying?" The woman said at last, "I'm afraid not. This is hay fever. But still, please, keep on trying." That's what I say to you. From periphery, it is difficult. It is a hay fever. It is almost impossible. But please, keep on trying. Something may happen. Who knows? But if you are really interested, start from the center. Fourth question. Why should there be a difference in techniques for men and women? Because they are different. They are as different as possible. They are polar opposites. Really, the more relevant question will be this: why should there be similar techniques? And there are techniques which are being used by both men and women, not because they suit to women, but really because never special techniques were developed for them. They have been neglected part of humanity. And all the techniques were developed by man. Basically, man was experimenting with himself. He knew about his energy pattern, his roots of energy, passages of energy. He worked on them, and he was talking to other men. So techniques were developed by man, for man. Women were never considered. In a Mohammedan mosque, women cannot enter. They are not to be a part of Islam really. Only for men, the mosque exists. Buddha for many years insistently denied that women should be initiated. Mahavir initiated many women. He never denied them initiation. But no techniques were developed for them. All the techniques were for men. Women worked through them. That's why the results were never so miraculous. Never. They were always so. Bound to be. Really, there is no need for 300 religions in the world. There are only need for 2 religions, one for men and one for women. And those 2 religions need not be in conflict. They can be married together. They will become one. There is no need of any conflict. If a man and woman can fall in love and live together as a single unit, those 2 religions can fall in love. They should. The whole physiology, psychology, every layer of feminine consciousness is different from man. Just the opposite, not only different. For example, Kundalini Yoga. It is not for women at all. But many will be shocked if I say that. And particularly women will be shocked. They will think something has been taken away from their hands. It is not for them at all. Because Kundalini is based on the positive sex center for men. The positive sex center is at the root of the penis for men, not for women. For women, that center is negative. So energy cannot be raised from negative centers. So almost always this is the case, and this is my observation. And whenever women say that they are feeling Kundalini arising in them, they are imagining. It cannot happen, but they are very imaginary. More imaginary than men. So if I work with 10 women and 10 men, out of 10 women, 9 will feel the energy arising. And only 1 man will feel. And this is miraculous because it cannot happen. They go on coming to me and I say, okay, it is happening. What to do? It is impossible, scientifically impossible, because energy can come only from a positive pole. Totally different techniques should be developed. Totally different techniques. But because men and women live so near, so together, they go on forgetting that they are different. Nothing is similar. And it is good that nothing is similar. That's why they can become one circle of energy. They are complementary. They fit into each other as anything. But they fit. That doesn't mean that they are similar. They fit because they are not similar. And whenever 2 similar types of bodies and minds try to fit into each other, this is perversion. So I say homosexuality is a perversion. In the West now it is becoming more and more prevalent. Now homosexuals think they are progressives. They have their clubs, parties, institutions, magazines, propaganda, everything. And their number is rising. In certain countries it has come near about 40%. Sooner or later, homosexuality will become a pattern all over, a normal pattern. Now even certain states in America are allowing homosexual marriage. You have to allow if people insist, because government has to serve the people. If 2 men want to live together in marriage, it is no one's business to create obstacles. It's okay. If 2 women want to live together married, then no one's business. That is their own affair. But this is basically unscientific. It is their affair but unscientific. It is their affair and no one needs to interfere. But their minds are unenlightened about the very basic pattern of human energy and its movement. Homosexuals cannot develop spiritually. Very difficult. Their whole pattern of energy movement is disturbed. The whole mechanism is fogged, perverted. And now, if homosexuality grows too much in the world, then very different techniques will have to be developed, unknown before, to help them to move towards meditation. When I say a man and woman are 2 counterparts of one whole, I mean they are complementary. And the complementariness is possible only when their opposite poles meet. Look at it in this way. The vagina is the negative pole in feminine body, and the breasts are the positive pole. And this is the rod of magnetism. Positive pole near the breast, negative pole near the vagina. For men, negative pole at the breast, positive pole at the penis. So when breasts meet, male and female, negative and positive are meeting. And when sex centers meet in coitus, negative and positive are meeting. Now both magnetic rods are meeting at their opposite poles. Now a circle is there. The energy can flow. Now the energy can move. But this circle will happen only when a man and woman are in love. If they are not in love, then only their sex centers will meet. One positive pole will meet with one negative pole. There will be an exchange of energy but linear. Circle cannot be made. That's why without love, you never feel satisfied. Sex without love becomes just trifle. It is not deep moving. Energy moves, but in a line. Circle is not made. And when circle is there, you become one, not before it. When you are deep in love, then breasts also meet, never before. So sex act is very easy. Love act is more complex. Sex act is just physical. Two energies meeting and dissipating. Then if there is only sex, sooner or later you will feel frustrated. You waste energy. And nothing is gained. The gain happens only when there is circle. If the circle is totally there, then both the partners will come out of sex act more energetic, more alive, more energy flowing, charged. If there is only sex act, both partners will come out of it discharged, faint. They have lost energy. Sleep will follow, because just they are feeling weak. In this one pole meeting, men are at more loss than women. That's why women can become prostitutes. Because the positive pole is men, women is negative pole. Energy flows from men to women, not vice versa. So a woman can make 20 or 30 sex acts in one night. A man cannot. A man cannot make 2. It depends on age, because his energy is moving and nothing is gained. So to me, if prostitution is bad, it is not because of prostitution. It is because circle is impossible. You are not charged. You simply waste your energy. If there is love, then man and woman meet on 2 poles. Man gives to woman and the woman returns back. And this is reciprocal, mutual. Meditation will be good for females to start from the breast. That is their positive pole. Because of this, many strange things become possible, happen. Man always likes to enter the woman immediately. He is not interested in foreplay, because his positive pole is always ready. And women are always reluctant to enter into sex act immediately without any foreplay, because their negative pole is not ready. And it cannot be ready unless the man starts loving the woman from the breast. The negative pole will not be ready. They can yield, but they will not participate. And man thinks sex act is simple. Why waste time? Enter the woman immediately. And he is finished within minutes. But the woman was not a part. She was not aroused. That's why women hanker. Their lovers should touch their breasts, love their breasts. A deep hankering. Only when their breasts have become filled with energy, then their second pole of the magnetic rod responds. That is negative. Then they are alive to it. Then they can participate. Then communication is possible. And then they will melt. Foreplay is a must. Marriages become dry. Because in the beginning, when you meet a new woman, you foreplay with her body, because you are not certain whether she will allow you direct approach. So you play. You just feel the ground, whether she is ready. But when she is your wife, you take her granted. There is no need. Wives are so much dissatisfied with their husbands. Not because their husbands are not loving, they are wrongly loving. They don't think that a woman exists in a different way. Her body responds in a different way, just opposite to them. But this concentration at the best, melting into it, will give a new feeling to the female meditators. A new feeling about her own body. Because from the center now, she can feel the whole body vibrating. Just by loving the breasts of a woman, she can be brought to a deep orgasm. Because the negative pole automatically will go on responding. There are many other things. If you start from the breast, meditating on the nipples, don't follow the route that you have read in the books, because that is meant for men. You simply don't follow any charge. Allow the energy itself to move. It will happen in this way. Just a vague suggestion. Then first your breast will become filled with energy. They will radiate energy. They will become hot. And then immediately your vagina will respond. And only after your vagina responds and vibrates, Kundalini for you, for women, will start working. And the route will be different. And the way the Kundalini will arise will be different. In men, it arises very actively, forcibly. That's why they have called it the serpent rising. Very forcibly, suddenly, with a jerk, the serpent unfolding. And it is felt on many points. Those points are called chakras. Wherever there is resistance, the snake forces itself. It is just like the penis entering the vagina. The similar is the passage for men. when the energy arises as if the penis inside is moving. And the snake is a phallic symbol. Really, not to use direct language, not to call it penis, they have called it a snake. You must have heard this story in the Garden of Eden, where the serpent persuaded Eve to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Now, scholars are working and they say that this serpent is also just a phallic symbol. Not to say it directly. So it is not a question really of eating the fruit of knowledge. It is a question of sexuality. And the similar symbol has been used in India. The serpent rises, just like a penis erecting in jerks, moving inwards. This will not be the feeling for a woman. The feeling will be the quite opposite. When a woman feels that the penis has entered in the vagina, the melting sensation, the welcoming, the vagina giving way, vibrating very, very delicately, in a very receptive mood, loving, welcoming. The same will be the phenomena inside. When the energy will rise, it will be a receptive, passive rise. As if a passage is opening, not a serpent rising, but a door opening, and a passage opening, and something giving way. It will be passive and negative. With men, something is entering. With women, something is opening, not entering. But no one has worked about it, never before, because no one has taken any cognizance of women. But for the future, I think, now it is a must. And the feminine body should not be neglected. Much research and work is needed. But it is so difficult to work, because of so much Puritan, moralistic nonsense. It is so difficult to work. And to create a map, how feminine body will respond to the phenomena. But this is how I feel it will be. Everything will be just the opposite. It must be so. It cannot be similar. The ultimate thing will be the same. Enough for today?